Hello, hello, we're back again. So now we're ready to work on this page, which is page 8. And we started to draw that border around the page. If you haven't done that, you can go ahead and take a second and do it. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the wind is really blowing here, so you may hear that in the background sometimes. Now, what we want to do is we're going to write a poem based on the two faces that we have drawn. I actually went back and added a little bit to this one. I put some lines up here because I just felt like it needed it. It wasn't complete the way it was for me. It felt like it needed that. And you can do that as well. If you feel like there's something you want to add to your faces, go ahead and do it. Now the next thing we want to do is look at these faces. And I want you to get a piece of scrap paper and write down the 3 words that come to your mind right away. The first 3 words. For me, first 3 words I had were tired, biting, I don't think you can see, but he's got very pointy teeth, and lost. So those were the first 3 words that came to my mind for the negative face. And then do the same thing for the other face as well. What 3 words pop into your mind quickly, right away? Don't think about it, just put down whatever comes first. So on your scrap piece of paper now you have 6 words, 3 from each face. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a poem. Not something that rhymes or something that's a literary treasure. It's just a poem that will relate to these beings and the feelings they are processing for you, because that's what we're doing here. We're processing your feelings by drawing them and writing about them. So for each of the words then, I want you to create a sentence using that word. Each word, 1 sentence. And you can just write them out in a line in the empty space here on the inside of our border. So for my first one, it was tired, ... of it all. So that was the first sentence, and then you go ahead and make sentences for each of the other words. So I'm going to be quiet now so that you can think about this and then do your work. And I'm going to start writing mine down because I cheated a little bit. While you were away, I wrote my sentences out on my scrap paper. So you can figure them out on scrap paper and then copy them down in your little book inside the framework. So go ahead and take some time and do that. And you will be able to, again, to pause the video and finish it in as much time as you need. So don't feel rushed. Take whatever time you need. So I'm going to put just the word poem as a title, but you could put something that relates to what is being said. So my first one was tired. My second word was biting. I just want to chew it up and spit it out. And you keep going, doing your sentences then. And go on and do the positive words too. I can see I'm not very good at writing in straight lines, but that doesn't matter. I told you this doesn't have to be perfect, and there is no right way or wrong way to do this. So my words were tired, biting, and lost. Tired of it all. Biting, I just want to chew it all up and spit it all out. Sometimes I feel so lost, but then my positive words were positive, hope, and smile. Being positive feels so much better. Hope is such good medicine. I feel a smile coming. And sometimes just the physical act of smiling changes how you feel. So remember to smile. Smile to yourself. So we finished all of that. Now we have just our title page and some more work on the frames if you like. I want to show you what I did this morning. I was working on the rest of this, and on our very first drawing, that was such a lot of really tough negative energy. I just felt like I wanted something around the edge here kind of contain it, to keep that energy in there. I don't want to share it. I don't want it to float out and take over my workspace. So I just took a red marker and made one skinny single line, and then used a, where did all my brushes go? I used a brush, just a simple little brush, in water. Let me get a brush. Here it is. It was hiding. So you just dip the brush in water, shake off the extra, and paint right over it. You don't scrub. You don't try to make it all even. You just paint, and it takes the coloring in the water-based markers and turns it into watercolor. So that's what I did with that, and I did the same thing with this one. You can see there's a whole pattern and design happening in there. And then I took my brush with just a little bit of water on it and played. I let the brush just kind of dance around over that and create those fun decorations on that frame. And here's two more. Again, I had started to create a pattern, and you can see part of the frames have a pattern that's still drawn and showing, and part of them I have painted over them with the water right over the markers, and it makes the markers bleed, turns them into watercolors. Really, that's what it does. So if you want to try that, I would suggest that you get just a piece of scrap paper so that you know how this works, and just scribble on it a little bit. Try two colors. Get a brush and some water. You can get your supplies in a minute. You can just pause the video. And then just by taking the brush with a little water over them, the markers turn into a kind of watercolor, and you can just play or do whatever you want with this. And that's how I did the borders on the edges of my paper, and I will do that on some more of them. I will probably finish the border around the poem that way as well. And you may even want to add borders to these two pages, to the faces and the speech and movement and pleasure moves pages too. If you have room, you could do that. So the only thing we have left now is our title page. So again, you can do this any way you want. You don't have to put anything on it. You can leave it blank. You can just put a title. I'm going to use Cosmic Sunshine because it's the title of our circle shop. But I think what I'm going to do is, and it's talking about sunshine, and we talked a lot about sunflowers and how sunflower heads bend to follow the sunshine as it goes across the sky. Well, we're trying to be like the sunflowers and be able to move, choreograph ourselves so that we follow the light and we leave the black hole out there. We don't want to fall into it. It's not fun. It's harder to climb out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make just a very loose sunshine design, kind of funky. I'm going to use the watercolors, and just kind of draw a sun design. And I'm going to use a couple of colors. I might even put a face in the sun. And then I'm going to paint over it with water, as I've been telling you. We've been kind of experimenting with that a little bit. Let me pull this down here so you can actually see what I'm doing. There you can see. And this is definitely not stay within the lines coloring book stuff. It's be adventuresome, have fun, enjoy yourself. Because you're the only one who's really going to see this, and you should enjoy it. There we go. And maybe I'll use a lighter yellow. I think I have one here for the center. And the other thing about just painting with water over water-based markers, you can go back and draw in details right over top of it with a dry marker. So let's see what happens when we play with this. Again, I'm going to get some water, shake off the extra, and I'm going to start at the center and get a little more water. And I'm just drawing the color out from the sun like it's glorious and full of energy and light. It's cosmic. It's part of the heavens and the heavenly bodies. Holds so much wonderful energy for us. There you go. And I want to be able to see this as a beautiful, energetic being whose energy is part of my life. So that's what we have so far. You can see it's very playful and loose. And then I think I'm going to take a darker marker and maybe just kind of very loosely put some accents on some of the rays. So it's really just a fine line, and I'll show you in a second because I don't think you can see what it looks like. But this is our beautiful cosmic sunshine coming to enrich our lives. Bring us beautiful energy, pleasure. You know, we can use the sun in two ways. We can use it to light our heart path, or we can sit out in it too long and get burned. So it's all a matter of knowing how and what to do. And over top of this, then I will write a title, and I'm going to use Cosmic Sunshine. And I think later today, I'll go back here and maybe put some sunflowers in too. You never know what's going to happen when I start working. Things just sort of happen. So that's the start, and you can do your title page or not do your title page as you like. So that's all I have for now, but I want to encourage you to check out my new series of classes that will be coming the end of January. I will be sending you information in email and also posting it in Facebook. So it's a deeper dive into finding our own cosmic sunshine and some other ways of doing that we haven't explored in our work today. You know, having these little books, they're kind of like a repository of hope, because they show us different situations that we've been in and different ways that we've worked with them, and we've gotten the wisdom from how to do that. And we can begin to see some of these things work better for us than others, but we can begin to see we've made progress. We remember what it felt like when we were doing that first really intense drawing. And we know now that we can take that energy and transform it into something that is healing. We can bring the pleasure in, we can write poetry, draw faces, we can do all of these things. And in my new set of classes, we're going to start by creating a special journal or workbook. It'll be a smash book style where we have some pages that are just for pretty, as I say, and some pages that are meant for storage, and then also some pages that are just decorated so that we can write our work in those. And there'll be private personal journals where we will have all of this work together in one spot. So again, I encourage you to take whatever time you need to finish this on your own. Come back, replay the videos, pause them, do it however it works for you. Check my new series of classes that is coming up on further adventures in cosmic sunshine. I've been so pleased to have you here with me. As I said, you are my sisters. I have no other sisters. And I truly thank you for taking time and sharing this with me. I truly hope that it's been a blessing for you and helped you to stay out of those darn black holes. We all face them at times, and this has been such a crazy, wild ride this last year. So we need a little help wherever we can get it. So thank you, my loves. I want to read just one more thing for you. And I'll get my glasses so I can actually see what I'm reading. You know, these habits that we get into about how we respond to things, they're like bad spells. They're like evil spells on us. It's like a kind of black magic, really. Sometimes it's pretty hard to break those spells. So this is a spell-breaking prayer to go with you and all the work that you'll be doing in the future. Spell-breaking prayer. I am the archaeologist of my soul that is buried under lives and lives and lives, and all my women ancestors are helping me to unearth her, bring her to the surface and dust her off, wash her face. They will take her to the river of remembrance to bathe, to soak her bones and clear her eyes, to refresh her yoni with its waters of remembrance. And finally, she will take a great breath in and spew out all the chains of centuries of death dealing constraint by others, of lies, of false control, of being lesser than. And we will all hold hands connected by blood and umbilical cords, and we will dance and sound our heart's laments and joys in a space of safety and moon and fire. I am she. I have found myself. And so may you. Goodbye, my lovelies. This is Feather Red Fox signing off for Heart Path Healing and Heart Path Studio. Many, many blessings. Oh, and sunflowers wrapped with red thread, and of course, chocolate.